So this video is on 9-8. All of these are inequalities that we're going to be putting on a number line, okay? So this first graph here, so the one thing I want to remind us is we solve an inequality just like an equation. You can add to both sides, subtract to both sides, and so forth. The only thing you have to be careful of is the following. If you multiply or divide by a negative, you need to switch the inequality direction. Okay, so on this first one, I'm going to add 1 to both sides. That doesn't change my inequality, so that's still going to stay less than 11. I'm going to divide by 6, so I get x is less than 11/6. That is our solution. And then I'm going to come here to the number line. I'm going to put an 11/6 here. We need to decide if this is open or closed. This is going to be open because it doesn't have the equal underneath it. So without the equal, it's not going to be closed. It's going to be open. And x is less than 11/6. I am going to be shading this direction. And that is our graph. On B, I am going to be solving for x. I'm going to divide by 13. I'm going to divide by 13x. And again, the inequality is going to stay the same direction because I did not divide by a negative. And I get a 2/13. And so this is going to be 2/13. This is going to be a closed circle this time. And we're going to shade to the right. On letter C, for this one, I am going to, you could distribute, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this side by 9 and this side by 9. And that's going to give me x minus 2, still greater than, because again, I didn't divide by a negative, 2. I'm going to add 2 to both sides, so I get x is greater than 4. That's my inequality. So I'm going to come here, put a 4 here. I am going to have an open circle. And then I am going to shade to the right. On D, I am going to minus 5 from both sides. And I'm going to get a negative x over 4 less than or equal to. And when I subtract 1/2 from a negative 5, I'm going to get negative, well, 2 ways to think about it. It's negative 4 and 1/2. That's what I'm going to get. Probably want this as an improper fraction though. So when I do this, this is going to be a negative. So that's 8 plus 9, a negative 9/2 is what I'm going to have here. To undo my x being divided, and I'm going to think of it being divided by a negative because I don't want that negative there. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply by a negative 4. Or the opposite of dividing by a negative is dividing by a negative 4 is multiplying by a negative 4. So this 4 and 4 are going to cancel. And a negative times a negative is a positive. But when I divide by a negative, I am going to need to switch from this less than or equal to a greater than or equal to, because I multiplied by a negative. That's why I'm going to have to do this. Okay. And then on the other side, this 2 goes into negative 4. That's going to be negative 2 times. So I'm going to get a negative 9 times a negative 2, which is going to be a positive 18. So that's going to be my answer. X is greater than or equal to positive 18. I'm going to put 18 on my number line. I am going to have a solid circle, and I'm going to shade to the right. And that's our answer. And that's the end of this video.